come back. Okay. So I can start now. All right. So you can hear me? Can see? Sorry, technically I have to do everything, including the presentation. So I can't able to handle everything nicely. Okay, so this program Peningkatan Prestasi Stpm Mathematics Key, which we involve candidates for this exam semester 1, Stpm 2024, and candidates who are going to sit for ULANGAN Stpm 2023. Okay, mainly there are 5 objectives here we wish to achieve throughout this session. All right, first we will have an overview of the exam papers to get insight of what we should do in the examination. What are the preparation or the strategy we can use? And then what shouldn't we do and what should we do when answering the questions? What are the common mistakes that commonly made by the students that we should avoid? And what are the essential area working that you must write so that you can secure the marks when you're answering the questions? And lastly, the correct answer. Correct answer is important because when you get everything correctly, but finally you didn't put in the form that required by MPM or the marking scheme, that is a waste. First of all, I would like to say that different examination board may have different standard or definition of criteria in certain aspects. For example, you see when we write our answer in set form, you see the second version, this one. This version has been popularly used when they are in SPM. And then it does not have any issue at all. When it comes to Form 6, definitely you are not allowed to write the range of a function in this form. To express the range of the function, you should use y to represent the image, not the fx. So please remember. And then, as you can see, it said set. So it must be in the notation, set notation form. So this one, don't use. Don't use. Actually, in fact, you see the fx itself. Fx is just a formula to find the image of x. Okay, it's not suitable to express the range of a function. So the range of functions should be represented by using the y. Using the y. Next, this one, when we express the set, it must be in the correct form. The second version, you see there is a comma there. Comma is not allowed. It's an ambiguous case because we have no idea whether your comma represent O or represent N. So it's an ambiguous case, so it's not allowed. So you must state it obviously, clearly, explicitly, or using the union notation. Union notation. You can split into 2 sets. What I mean is you can split into 2 sets, x less than -1, and then union x, in which x is greater than 1. Or you can use the or. So definitely the comma is not allowed. That we are very strict here. Okay, next. When the question asking for the range of x that bounded by 2 conditions, especially in the chapter sequences and series. Okay, look at the first one. Modulus of 3x less than 1 and modulus of 2x less than 1. Compare with the second version. Instead of using the and, candidate use comma. Now I want to ask you, Whether the second version is allowed? No, not allowed, huh? Not allowed. It's a must to write stated clearly, explicitly, and space also cannot, huh? See the third version. You leave a space there. No comma, no and, no or. So it's ambiguous. We are not very sure what you are trying to relate these two range. So you have to relate the two range using the and. So you cannot leave it blank of space there. Huh? Okay. Next, the proper matrices elementary row operation instruction. So we have three versions here. Only the first version is allowed in the examination. Because this carry the meaning 2R1, 2 times row 1 plus row 2 replace row 2. This is the meaning of this instruction. So we have to write our ERO instruction in the proper way. You see the second version, it put the R2 and then the arrow is wrong. The third version also cannot. So others version also not allowed. Like you say the R2 equals R1 plus R2 also cannot. So only one version that we use, which is the first one. 2R1 plus R2 replace R2. Don't make mistake here because rugi lah. It's not worth to lose marks in these simple things. Huh? All right. Let's have an overview of the exam papers. Section A, the number of questions have 6, in which we know one chapter, one question. So make up the 6 questions. And then section B, we have 2 questions. You just need to choose one only. Okay, mark allocated for section A is 45. Section B is 15. So if we follow the time proportion, 1 mark should be equivalent to 1.5 minutes. So you shouldn't spend too much time on one question. You just have to refer the number of marks there. If the marks is 3 marks only, you spend 10 minutes, it doesn't worth. Understand that? To manage your time properly. Basically, I suggest that after you finish section A, it should be about 1 hour. Within 1 hour, you should already finish section A. So you won't get panic. Won't get panic. You move to the section B, which should consume you about 22.5 minutes. All right. By right, we should finish within 1.5 hours. So we have some 5 to 10 minutes to give us the time to check the answer. This is ideally but normally from the experience of the student, lack of time, tak cukup masa. That is the problem. Okay, so strategically, time management is very, very important. Okay, don't spend too much time on a certain question, especially the marks is very few only. All right, if you have a look at the analysis of the question, you see the most popular question that come out in section B. Section B, here is about the section B. Obviously, you see function. But who is the most frequently? The mode is vectors. 8 kali. Function 7 kali. Which one haven't come out yet, you see? Which one? Complex number. And then even the analytic geometry come out only once. I'm not going to spot question. For example, if I tell you, say, hey, complex number never come out. This year come out, okay? But if never come out, you blame me. Okay? If I say, hey, complex number never come out, no need to learn. No need to prepare for the section B. Then suddenly come out, you blame me. Okay? So I'm not going to spot. In fact, it's not wise to spot. It's not wise to spot. You learn everything. Okay, here we just spend a little bit time to go through because during the exam, you may not have the time to to really go to detail and think about it. Let us think about it now. You see, very important instruction here is answer a question in section A, but here answer one question only in section B. When you open up the question paper, it's stated very clearly here, you may answer all the questions. Section B, I'm talking about the section B. You may answer all the questions, but only the first answer will be marked. So what does it mean? If you got time, some may go to the try attempt 2 question. But actually, if you attempt 2 question, you really have to arrange your script properly. The examiner does not have the obligation to choose the best for you. The examiner will only mark according to the sequence. According to the sequence, you arrange your script paper, your answer script. So let's say number 8 you put at the front, number 7 you put at the bottom. If number 7 get a higher mark, if the examiner mark for you mark for you. But normally we don't mark already. We don't mark. When we see the question 8 in the front, question 7 at the back, we mark question 8 only. I tell you, the examiner has no obligation to mark number 8 and then go to number 7 because he will only mark the first question that comes first. Okay, so make sure you arrange your answer in a proper sequence that you want. If you want is number 7, you found that 7 will be the higher mark, expected to be higher, then you better put the number 7 in the front. Number 8 you can put there. Don't go and cancel it because who knows, the examiner is very nice. Some examiner is very nice. They will mark for you. Some will choose for you also. But that is depend on the luck. Just they don't have the obligation to mark 2 questions and choose for you. All right. This is what I'm trying to say regarding the instruction here. All right. You see, answer may be written either English or Malay, but throughout the years, mostly 99.9% students answering in Bahasa English. Okay. Okay, let us go through briefly about the instruction of exam questions. Exact answers versus round of answers. Okay. Show that, prove that, hence, deduce. Hey, all this you must really know how to handle with this type of instruction. You handle wrongly, all gone. No marks one actually. Especially hence and deduce. Okay, how to handle, calculate, determine, solve, find this in the same category. Give, state, write down in the same category. Explain, justify in the same category. Okay, sketch versus draw or plot. Okay, now look at the first one. Exact answer versus round of answer. Lone 3 plus 21 is considered as exact values or exact answer. If you give 22.099, it's a round of answer. Which one is better? Exact answer is the better one. It's the preferred one. When the exact answer is available, give exact answer. Even though it's not mentioned in the question. We try our best to give the exact answer. So as you see the second one, Cert 5 minus Cert 2. Compared to 0.822. Cert 5 minus Cert 2 is a better form. Sometimes, the marking scheme really want that form, the exact form. 0.822 don't want. Then you lost the mark. Okay. Exponential. 2 to the e power 3 minus 7 It's a better form compared to 33.171. In general, it's a better form for me. But sometimes, for example, when it comes to graph sketching, 2 times e power 3 minus 7, you don't know the location. But when you change to 33.171, you know exactly where is it. Depend on the situation. Which one is the better form to be used, depend also. But in general, I would say exact answer will be the preference answer. Okay? Okay, if a question asks for exact answer, it means not in rounded form. This one is if the question asks for. Then rounded form definitely cannot. So you cannot get directly from the calculator. Later you see when you evaluate, let's say the sine pi over 3. If sine pi over 3, you press the calculator, you get 0.866, right? Old calculator old calculator. But if you are using the new version, okay, it gives 3 over 2, right? That one you are safe. Okay, this instruction is usually given when the final answer involves an irrational value such as log or cert, as I given here. You will need to demonstrate that you can manipulate this quantity so you don't just key in everything into calculation or you will lose marks. So actually, for example, as I said just now, let's say the cos pi over 3, all this, you have to demonstrate how you get it manually without calculator. Only you do it manually, you can get the answer, isn't it? Unless pressing the calculator in a certain way. Okay, for round off answer, always follow 3 to 5 significant figures unless stated otherwise by the questions. In general, if you have to round off, we follow this rule, 3 to 5 significant figure. So let's say 70.3, okay, 3 significant figure. And must write correct to 3 significant figure. Ini tak boleh You just leave it like that without stating how many significant correct to how many significant figure, you will lose mark also. Okay, 7.3, 7.31, okay. 4 significant figure, 70.312, still okay. 70.3125, be careful. Be careful. You are using too many significant figure. In mathematics, we say you are not efficient. You're not efficient, maybe you will be punished. You cannot use too many significant figure. Okay, next, show that. If you are asked to show that a given result is true, your response must clearly show the steps to get from the starting statement to the given answer. Okay, this one I will show later with using the question paper. Deduce, hence, this means that you are expected to use the given result or result obtained to establish something new. As long as there is a word there, deduce, hence. Don't use others method than the method that you must make use of the result you obtained in the previous part. Even though you apply others method, you get the correct answer, no marks at all. No marks at all. That is deduce and hence. Mesti pakai apa yang telah diperolehi sebelumnya untuk menjawab yang seterusnya. That means deduce or hence. Okay, next, calculate, find, determine, and solve. Make sure that you show enough working to justify the final answer or conclusion. Bila you nampak ada calculate, you nampak ada find, ada determine, ada solve, mesti ada working. Mesti ada working. Okay. If you see give, state, write down, working tak payah. Not compulsory. Okay, explain. Explain is the weakest for the candidates for this type of question. Explain, justify. Paling lemah dalam bahagian ini. Because we are not able to discuss mathematics. Okay, so question asking for explanation are looking for concise but sufficiently detailed statements. If two or more reasons are required, then make sure you are not just writing the same thing in a different way. Biasanya untuk explain, satu reason, satu markah. You kira lah tengok. Kalau dia kata, sana ada 3 markah, you kena bagi 3 fakta. You have to give 3 reasons. The marks are a very good reference for you to determine to what extent I must explain. If the marks allocated is 2 marks, so make sure you have given 2 reasons there. Understand? Plot draw. If you are asked to plot, you must mark plot. Okay, I just skip it because in our exam papers, we do not have this type of question. We have sketch only. We have sketch. Okay, when it comes to sketch, sometimes I found that students are still like this. Asked to sketch. Go and label. Tang, 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 tang. Very detailed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No need. This is wasting your time only. Okay, so what is required here? A sketch does not need to be skilled, but it should show the main features. Okay, what are the main features? First, turning points. If it's quadratic function, it's a must to show. If exists, asymptote. Kalau ada. You must know how to find lah. Okay, I cannot go to detail how to find the asymptote here. Okay. X and Y exist intersection. These 2 points is so important. Ini. It is the Y intercept and the X intercept. Okay, behavior of the large X or small h. So you have to consider when the X getting larger and larger, what happened to the Y? Or going smaller and smaller, what happened to the Y? You have to investigate. Maybe you can use your calculator and check. You key in the function and you input x10. If you want to go larger, 100, 1000. You see observe how the Y change. If it also become larger and larger, then you know your graph. Let's say this graph means when x increase, Y also go to infinity, isn't it? You have to investigate. All right. This one, the point inflation is not your concern with you. Term 2. Term 2. Okay, we move to the question number 1. All right. Before I start, just now, any question? Will I start the paper? Wait, I check message for a while. Because I may not able to listen to the verbally question. All right. So now we have 151 participants. Some are teacher with his or her students. Some may online, individually. Okay, let's look at this one. 2023. Solve the simultaneous equation 2 to the power of xy plus 1 equals 32. So another one is the logarithmic equation. Okay, in our solution, okay. So first of all, this index 32 written in the index form, then we are able to get the base are the same. Base is 2 for both sides, then we can compare the index. So we get xy plus 1 is 5. Then we get xy equals 4. Okay, now from the logarithmic function, this xy now I can sub with 4. Sub with 4, so I get 8 log 2 base 4 plus log 4x base x equals 6. Okay, actually this is a step that we already sub. We already sub. There's a mark there. It's a method. It's a method. Actually here also is a method. You're changing the base. Changing the base. Log 2 base 4, you change to 1 over log 4 base 2. Okay. And then log 4 base 2, you get 2. All right. Now we come to the, at this stage, the simplest form of the logarithmic function. Log 4x base x is 2. So you change to index form. So you get x squared equal to 4x. All right. Showing the factorization. Then you have two values of x. You should be able to reject one of it by checking. Not necessarily equal 0, we reject. We reject because it does not satisfy this logarithmic function. Bukan kerana dia kosong. For example, if we have log x 1 minus 2x. Here is log base 2. Whatever lah, whatever base. Ini 1 minus 2x must be greater or equal to greater than 0, isn't it? Then 2x must be less than 1. X must be less than 1 over 2. Dia boleh jadi negatif. Okay, so don't misunderstanding that kosong kita reject terus, tak. Because it does not satisfy the function here. Because log cannot take 0 or negative values. Itu sebab dia lah. Itu sebab dia. Alright. So you must show the rejection here. Rejecting x equal to 0 as it does not satisfy the equation. Okay, then in other words, we have only x equal to 4. And then continue to look for your y, which is 1. Don't keep silence on the, let's say, you see one example here. I tell you, this student look fine everything, but this student will lose a mark. He is silenced. This is silence on this value. When you silence on that value, you never indicate you reject it, you will lose the mark. Even though betul lah, saya sudah pilih 4 kan? No. Maybe it's a incomplete word kan? Mana tahu dia bagi kamu adalah kerja yang belum selesai, kan? Okay, so you cannot keep silence on the values of x you obtain. You have to choose accordingly. Okay, any question? Now we look at another one. Uh, 2023 number 7. This one is expressed 2 sine plus 2 sec 3 cos in the form of r sine. So r definitely is positive. The angle alpha definitely must be acute. Maksudnya antara kosong dengan pi over 2 lah. Must be acute. And then it give another condition for the theta. Dia kata theta must be in between negative pi and pi inclusive pi. Ini ada perangkap ni. Ini ada niat jahat ni. Perangkap, you see that? There is a trap there. Because they want us to be careful. Terperangkap. Okay. Once a while they will trap you. They will trap you in this way. Okay. A. Find the maximum and minimum values of 2 sine plus 2 sec 3. Okay, sorry, I evaluate the first part first, express. So we try to do in this form, r sine bracket theta plus alpha. So when we expand the compound angle formula, you get r sine theta cos alpha plus r cos theta sine alpha. So comparing the both sides of the expression, we get r cos alpha is 2, r sine alpha is 2 sec 3. Just simply write this one, you get a mark. In say that both the 1 and 2 must be seen. Must be seen. You tengok you punya kerja. Ada tulis sini ya? Tak ada. Mana boleh tak tulis? Alright. Okay, then you use 1 square plus equation 2 square. Okay, here we look for the r. R is 4. No need to consider plus minus 4. Tak ada lagi. No need to consider. This is special because already indicate R must be positive. Ada yang pergi tulis macam ini. Bahaya. Bahaya. Because we will assume, this is your R. Okay, never write more than that. So when you look for the tangent alpha, when tangent alpha is sec 3, alpha is pi over 3. Never go more than that because alpha is acute. Sudah mesti dia hanya first quadrant. Jangan pergi cari angle-angle yang di third quadrant. Kan? Di sini tangent pun positif. No, Okay, because already defined clearly the alpha is in the first quadrant. Okay, now another issue. What if here is written as 60 degree? Habislah maka. Okay. So alpha in radian, exact form. Bukan sahaja radian. Exact form means must be pi over 3. Paham? No decimal. Why? Why must be in radian? Because it's all follow the question. You see, the question, the angle is expressed in radian. Itu sebab dia. In the question, the angle is expressed in radian. So, in answering the question, we just follow everything in radian. Let's say now, I change my angle to this one. Then your answer must be in degree pula. In degree. Okay, we always follow the system that used by the question. So as metric pun sama. Kalau dia ialah IJK form, kita IJK form. Kita jangan guna column vector. So as others chapter also the same. Complex number also the same. Kalau dia polar form, kita ikut polar form. Kalau dia Cartesian form, kita ikut Cartesian form. This is the principle or rules that we follow. Okay, after you get the alpha and then your R, so you write your answer lah. Maka 2 sine theta plus 2 sec 3 cos theta equals to 4 sine theta plus pi over 3. Okay, next, see the question is asking for find the maximum and minimum values of 2 sine theta plus 2 sec theta. Do you see the keyword? What is the keyword here? What is the keyword here? Instruction? Find. Find. Be careful. Find. Ini find. Find. Maka you kena tunjuk something. Okay, I know some of you can be very fast. You know already. 4 times -1 will be the minimum. 4 times 1 will be the maximum. If you just give like that, sorry, you lost the marks. Because the question itself say find. You must satisfy your answer. So how to satisfy answer? At least you must say like that. At least you must say like that. For the theta in between these two values, the 4 sine theta is in this range. -4 to 4. -4 to 4. Kan? Dia berlaku bila? Dia ialah 1 apabila theta plus pi over 3 is pi over 2 kan? Kan? Itu. Sini saya ada buat sedikit. Let you see. Actually, you have to check. It's not directly we come to 4. You have to check. You see? I have to check when the sine theta plus pi over 3 is 1. The theta we obtain is pi over 6. So pi over 6 is still in this range. Kan? Ini masih lagi ada di sini. Kan? So I have to check also sine theta plus pi over 3 equal to -1. I get the theta is -5 over 6 pi kan? Masih lagi jatuh di sini. Kan? Tetapi kalau saya kata -pi ini, kalau saya tukarlah jawab soalan tu, kosong, theta, pi, maka ini sudah tak boleh pakai, maka dia tak akan sama dengan -1 di sini. Itu lain pula cerita. Okay. So actually, when I come to say that the range is between -4 and 4, actually I have to check this also. I have to check, even though very few marks only, 2 marks only. All right. Alternatively, you just show like that lah. 4 times the minimum of the sine is, you get -4. Maximum, 4 times the maximum of the sine theta itself, the sine function sine is 1, is 4. At least you show this. All right. Any question? Okay, we move on to B. 2 sine theta plus 2 sec 3 equal to 0. We go to the question first. It's asking for solving. Okay. Solving, dan sentiasa ingat, kita mesti patuh kepada arahan di mana ada hands kan? Ada hands ni. Ada hands maksudnya whatever you obtain, this one, always will be used to answer A, B, C, D. You mesti tunjuk, kamu pakai. Itu hands tu. Okay. Now you see B. So 2 sine theta plus 2 sec 3 cos theta equal to 0. Then right, use this form which you obtain. Itu baru memenuhi syarat hands. Kan? Sebenarnya ada cara yang lebih cepat kan? Saya tunjuk kepada kamu. Actually, you see, let's say we have a solution like this. Tengok. You have solution like this. Compare. You compare sekarang. Which one is faster? You see the solution? This one. 2 sine theta plus 2 sec 3 cos theta is 0. Okay. So I divided by cos, I get tangent, right? I divided by 2, I get negative sec 3 here. So if tangent theta is negative sec 3, directly I can get these 2 values, which is in the second quadrant. 2 pi over 3. Then this one is in the fourth quadrant, negative pi over 3. But no mark. Betul, efficient, no mark. Itulah dia. Kerana perkataan ini hence. So we have to very alert with the instruction. Alright. So this one we will have 0 marks here. Kosong. Kosong. Even though efficient, correct, everything. But it's a wrong method for this question. Okay, so instead, as I said, you must make use of this form equal to 0. Okay, and then this form must be seen. 4 itu kena buang dulu. Dia akan kosong kerana ini kosong. 4 tak akan kosong, kan? Okay, so here you see the angle that gives 0. Kalau kosong, bagi sign, dia ada 3 tempat kosong kan? 1, 2, 3 kan? Negative pi, dia kosong. Negative pi dia kosong. The first one. Kosong, kosong lah. Pi. Di sini ialah negative pi. Sini ialah kosong. Di sini ialah pi. But for negative pi, when you work further, negative pi bila minus pi over 3, dia akan memberi negative 4 pi over 3, which is already out of the range. Sudah terkeluar. So kita kena ignore this one. Ignore this one. So let's say if you put like that, oh sorry, this one sudah salah. Kerana angle yang dikehendaki mesti jatuh di antara negative pi dan pi kan? Mesti berada di antara sini. Okay? So you have to always be alert and be careful. Everything must check whether my answer fall within the range required. Okay, any question? Okay, I go to the next. Graph. Now see. Sketch the graph of R, Y equal to R sine. Jadi, sebenarnya, untuk sketch graph ini, you already have the information about the maximum point, the minimum point. You also have the information about the x-intercept kan? Untuk jawapan B, itu ialah x-intercept. Okay, jadi you tengok. Graf kita, maximum point, mesti ada. Dengan indicate coordinate dia yang betul. 4 is the maximum. The corresponding values of x is pi over 6. Minimum point, negative 4. The corresponding values of x is theta. Corresponding values of theta. Ini saya pun ada silap. Dia semua ialah dalam bentuk theta. So this one, you must change to theta, not x. This one wrong. This one. This one use the theta lah. Theta. Okay, ini adalah maklumat daripada question A. Question B pula, you solve the equation, you get this value kan? So you indicate negative pi over 3. Di mana? Ini. Negative pi over 3. And then another one, 2 over 3 pi. As you get from here. Okay, what else? Tak cukup lagi. Kerana you must find the values of these two endpoints. Because you are going to sketch from negative pi. Exclusive of the negative pi. That's why here you see. Exclusive of the negative pi. That's why you see you must indicate clearly this point is not included. But this point, you see, is a full dot. This point, pi is inclusive. You have to make the difference between these 2 points. You cannot cari dia punya y. That's why you have to do the working here. This working, ini working ini. When theta is negative pi, you get 2 negative 2 set 3. So as theta is pi, you also get negative 2 set 3. But when you come to the sketch, be careful of these 2 points. One is exclusive, one is inclusive. These minor things will cost you marks kalau you tak berhati-hati. Alright, I move on to D. Soalan D. Find the range of values of theta for the function greater or equals negative 2, but less than or equal to 0. So here, we have to evaluate, purposely go and evaluate this one. When the y is negative 2, you get these 2 values. Y is negative 2. You have to evaluate. Y sama dengan kosong sudah ada lah. Y dan sama kosong. Iaitu titik ini penting. Ini sudah ada. Sekarang tambah lagi titik ini. When y equals negative 2, you get this point. You get this point. Because we are going to look for the values of x in which y in between negative 2 and 0. Y, the corresponding portion of the graph is this part, isn't it? This part. With y greater than negative 2, less than 0 or equal to 0 lah. So the x must be here. Itu yang ini jawapan di sini kan? You kena bagi jawapan yang hijau ini. That is the x. Another one is here. Betul tak? It's here. So that's why you have to give the answer from the graph. The theta is from negative pi over 2 until negative pi over 3. Inclusive, because 0 is we want equal to 0. So as the other range of values of x, 2 pi over 3 until 5 over 6 pi. Boleh faham? Okay. Ini perlu bagi dalam set form lah. Tak payahlah. Kerana ni tengok soalan dia. Find the range. Range tak compulsory bagi dalam bentuk set. Nak bagi set form boleh. Tetapi kalau dia minta set form inter, compulsory in the set form. Kalau dia ada keyword contohnya, find the set values, find the interval. This keyword are inside the question. Find the set values, find the interval. Then you are compulsory to give answer in set form. Kalau dia cuma kata find the range, okay, this already is the final answer. But if you want to give in set, okay, itu saja. Any question? Students or teachers? Any question before I move to chapter 2? Okay, Cikgu Aziza. Cikgu Aziza?
Yes, Mr. Chu.
Ya.
Saya ada check dekat bahagian chat tu. R kan
Yes.
we use square root A square plus B square. Direct
Okay.
dapat markah tak? For R.
Ada markah. But it must also have the Okay, just now you asked this question. Okay, Cikgu Aziza is asking if the R is just using this 2 square plus 2 sec 3 square, and then your theta. You just calculate separately like this. Isn't it? It is what you want to ask. This is
Yeah, Mr.
using
Chu.
direct formula.
Yeah, we use direct this formula?
Yes, yes. Can. I think we have a very experienced teacher also. If I answer wrongly, please correct me. If you want to write in this way, you must make sure you sub everything inside the square root correctly. Okay. We move on. Okay, now have a look at this question. 2020, number 2. Expand in ascending power of x. Any question? Any question? Okay. Expand in ascending power of x up to the term in x cubed. Find the range values of x such that the expansion is valid. Okay, when you come to binomial expansion, the important thing is this must be shown plus ellipses, because the expansion, the series is a infinite series. It's an infinite series. So infinite series must be indicated by these plus ellipses. So both the series are infinite. Okay, secondly, I always encourage students, you must take the whole thing here, not take the 3x in our calculation. Put inside the power. Not just take the 3x. You will get wrong. Okay? And then, finally, your coefficient of each of the terms must be improper fraction. Tak mau decimal number. Tak mau mixed number. Decimal number, tak mau. Mixed number, tak mau. All improper form. Okay, ada kalanya dia allow, ada kalanya dia tak allow. Tapi yang kita pakai yang standard, sentiasa guna yang standard. Which is improper. Alright. You see, now we have 2 expansion going on. For this whole expansion, ada 2. So when we check the validity of these 2 expansion, we have to consider both the condition. Kerana wait. Expansion is valid. So from the first expansion, this one, negative 3x, must be less than 1. Its modulus. And modulus of 2x must be less than 1. You see, N ini. Saya sudah highlight. Bermaksud tak ada benda lain boleh ditulis. Hanya guna N saja. tak boleh guna space, tak boleh guna comma, tak boleh guna or. Or memang salah. Or memang salah. Tetapi ada yang guna comma kerana dia kata comma mewakili and. But in mathematics, the proper word we say you must state clearly. Kerana ada kalanya comma itu bagi setengah orang dia mewakili oh, kan? Saya tak tahu you punya comma mewakili and ke mewakili or. So here we have to state clearly. If and, if or. Okay. Try to use the line number diagram to finalize your range. So intersection happen in between negative 1/3 to 1/3. Okay, show this working. Show this simple working before you write this. Even though it look very simple, but you try to show the working. Okay, I have another case here. You see this one. 2023. Sekarang if you see carefully, we have two expansion juga. Tetapi yang ini adalah finite expansion. The second one is infinite. Jangan semua hantam plus ellipses. Okay. So the first one shouldn't have ellipses, plus ellipses. Tak ada. Only the second expansion ada plus ellipses. Okay. So plus ellipses or plus ... must be seen only for the second expansion. Okay, same as just now. You see the coefficient of the terms must be in improper. Dan di sini berhati-hati. It's very noisy. What if? I have your opinion. What if candidates write modulus of x less than 1? Potong markah. Even though from here later you get this one. But still they want us to write in a correct concept. This is the terms that we consider. Negative x modulus there less than 1. Because some might say this one only. Tak betul. It must be the whole negative x. Okay. All right. Wait. But you look at this one. Why I say this is the wrong consideration? Bagi pendapat. Mengapa tadi saya buat dua expansion? Saya consider expansion 1, the modulus of 3x, negative 3x less than 1. And then modulus of 2x less than 1. I consider validity for this both. But why when come to here, saya hanya ambil kira yang ini. Mengapa? Why? So if you see, let's say you go to our, ini tengok kita punya nota. We have two type expansion for 1 plus x power n. The first type is n is an integer positive. Integer positive, then it is a finite series. Finite series. Maksudnya dia punya number of terms just n plus 1. Kan? Tetapi kalau expansion itu, sekarang dia punya n ini is not an integer positive. It can be negative. Negative integer boleh di sini. Atau dia ialah fraction, positive or negative fraction. Baru dia jadi infinite series. Kan? Hanya kita akan check validity for the expansion for this case only. So yang first one, dia tak ada masalah. The values of x doesn't have problem for whatever the values of n. As long as n is integer positive. But the second case, when n is non-integer positive, the x cannot take all values. Tak boleh. Dia tak boleh pakai semua values for the expansion to be valid. Is restricted to modulus of x less than 1. Okay, so come back here. So that's why we will never say like that. Boleh faham Don't simply all consider like the previous question. Get what I try to say? Okay, good. Okay, number 8. Number 8 involve partial fraction. So how to do a correct working for partial fraction? So 1 over 4r squared minus 1 identically equals to this one. So we are able to write 4r squared minus 1 as the product of two linear vectors. Okay, then we express in the partial fraction in general, where a and b is still unknown. Okay, then we write in the form without the fraction now. Okay, so by looking of the coefficient of r, just looking at the coefficient of r, the right hand side is kosong coefficient of r kosong. At this side is 2a plus 2b. So from here, we can get a is negative b. When we look at the constant for both sides, right hand side, the constant is 1. Left hand side, the terms that give, which is the constant, is a minus b. Okay, then we solve for it. We get our a half, b negative half. Don't forget to state your answer as required by the question, expressed in partial fraction. Sentiasa ingat, jawapan mesti memenuhi kehendak jawab soalan. Soalan kata express in partial fraction, walaupun kita sudah betul, state saja jawapan dia. Ini pun senang dapat markah, kan? State saja. Okay. After that, number 2, find the sum of the first n term of the series and deduce the sum to infinity. Jadi bermaksud kita nak cari summation of the first n terms. Okay. Yang ini pula method of differences. Now you listen carefully the rules. The rules, how to use the method of differences. Method of differences, dia ada dua cara. Satu ialah guna listing. Satu ialah guna formula. Baik, kita tengok satu persatu. When you list the terms, dia ada peraturan dia. 3 plus 2 here. 3 plus 2. In which we are able to show the cancelling. This one cancel this one, isn't it? This one will cancel this one, isn't it? Okay, now at least we have already shown 2 full cancelling, kan? 2 cancelling yang penuh. Lagi satu. This one will cancel this one, isn't it? Okay, the last cancelling also must be a full one. So by expressing 3 plus 2 terms, we are able to show full cancelling in the front, 2 case. One more cancelling and the last, a full cancelling. Tak semestinya 3 plus 2. Ada kalanya perlu 4 plus 3. Kalau dia ada jam kan? Kan? Faham tak? Ada kalanya the term 1 is cancelled by the third term. Kan? Itu you kena tambah lagi. Maybe you have to go to 4 plus 3. You get what I mean? Not necessarily the second term cancel the first term. Dia ada kalanya yang third term itu cancel yang first term kan? Dia ada lompat satu. Okay? Okay, hopefully you get what I mean. Alright. After that, basically we already say this should be okay already. This form. Or you can get into this form. But I still encourage you work until this form. I still encourage. Because mathematically it's not in the simplest form. Mathematically at this stage, it's not in the simplest form. Okay? Depend on the times. Masa izin, kalau tak complicated, you try to reach this. Tetapi, kalau masa tak cukup, especially, for example, 1 minus 3n plus 1, plus. Okay? 2, 3n plus 2. Oh, that will take you a lot of effort. Kan? So, you pandai-pandai manage your time. Kalau tak cukup masa, kalau bentuk contoh ini, okay, leave it like that. Boleh faham? Again, I still want to say, mathematically, this is not the simplest form. Mathematically, to be correct, it should be has a single term. Kerana kita masih lagi pakai peraturan simplest form, if possible, kan? Alright. Next, if you are using method differences using formula, you must define your f. So you have 2 terms here. Okay, let's say I define my f as 1 over 2r plus 1. Okay, so this become, the first one become the f bracket r minus 1. The second one is the fr. So you use the formula, you get answer is f naught minus fn. Okay, sub your 0 into this function, sub your n into this function. Okay, so this is next one, deduce. Deduce the sum to infinity of the series. To deduce, whenever to deduce, this is the best formula, kan? Ini bentuk ini bentuk yang paling sesuai untuk deduce, because this is in the form that easily we can find the limit, kan? Jangan pakai ini pula. So that's why to deduce I use this form instead of using the simplest form. Okay. So in this form, you can easily investigate the limit when n tends to infinity. 1 over 2n plus 1. Kalau n itu infinity, maksudnya dia akan menuju ke kosong. It will tends to 0. So you indicate 0 here. 1 minus 0. Indicate 1 minus 0. Jadi akhirnya half. Okay, next. For B. For B, dia kata, using the result in A2, show that the sum of infinite series is less than 2. Sebenarnya di sini kamu nampak, kalau dia ditulis macam ini, dia macam belum lagi bentuk yang kita dah buat kan. Bentuk yang kita buat ialah ada 4 kan. Kemudian ada minus 1. Okay. So we have to manipulate something here, in which we have to establish the inequality. We would say 4r squared definitely greater than 4r squared minus 1, as r is integer positive. Okay. Then the reciprocal of it, we change the direction. Greater become less than for both reciprocal. Kan? And then considering the sum to infinity with the general term is this one. So the still less than. All right, here we do a little bit manipulation. For this part, we already obtained is half. Ambil dari atas. Half itu, ambil. Kan? Yang ini, you keluarkan dia punya 4. 1/4 you keluarkan. Then later on you multiply 4. You get 2 here. So then this means 1 plus 1/4 plus 1/9 loh, which is less than 2. Shown, bracket, tulis shown. Okay. That's all for the chapter 2. Okay, before I move on to chapter 3, any question? Alright, tak ada soalan. Okay, we go to chapter 3. Chapter 3. Chapter 3, yeah. Chapter 3. I purposely choose 2016 because I would like to highlight something here. You see, actually this is a very simple question. You are given a matrix P, then find this one, just careful calculation needed only lah. Perlu berhati-hati saja. Okay, buat sampai you dapat a single matrix like this. Okay. Soalan B. Show that this P times this one gives 6i. So you have to work from the left hand side. Bermula daripada left hand side. Ini juga bukan soalan yang susah. Dia cuma involve elementary operation on matrix. Darab saja, kan? Alright. Make sure you get in the form 6i finally. Okay. Now dia punya isu sekarang ialah deduce. Deduce maksudnya you have to make use of this one. What you get is this one. You get this one. You have to make use of it. So you divided by 6. The right hand side become 1i. Here divided by 6, put here, purposely put in between, so that we can recognize the form like A inverse A, like AB equals to I. It means that B must be the inverse of A, using this one. So this 1/6 time bracket must be the inverse of P. Okay. Then we cannot stop here. Tak boleh berhenti di sini ya. Answer as a single matrix ini. Sini jangan berhenti di sini. Tak boleh. Very strict. Ada yang tak percaya, maka saya quote ini, tengok. Ini laporan daripada MPN. MPN kata, some candidate lost 1 mark for not writing the inverse in a single matrix and left the answer as this one. Dia hilang markah. Kerana dia ingat, oh ini cantik mah kan. Cantik, betul cantik. It's actually is a very nice form. But exam you have to express as a single matrix. Tetapi untuk guna pakai ialah yang ini. Senang pakai. Terutamanya bila you nak darab dengan matrix yang lain. But answer no choice, must be this form. Must be this form. Alright, let us move on. Okay, 2023 question number 3. So you have this linear equation, and then you need to write in the augmented matrix, then deduce into the form given here. Then you determine your FK. So we start with here, augmented matrix. Okay, perform the correct ERO here with the correct notation. Tak ada lain seperti in the beginning I already mentioned, when you want to describe your operation, you must use this type of notation. Tak ada lain. Tak ada lain. So we say it's a proper ERO instruction with arrow signs. Okay, so make sure you, because we want to reduce into excellent form. So we must make sure this is 0, 0. And then come to the next step. This is the pivot now, k minus 1. Under the pivot, k minus 1, you make sure this is 0. So here we use a strategy, k tolak 1 darab k plus 1. Tolak k plus 1 darab k minus 1. So then, only then they can eliminate themselves to give 0. To give 0. By doing so, we already get this form. I forgot to write the answer. Okay. Apa jawapan yang saya tak tulis di sini? Bagi tahu. Hilang 1 markah. Cikgu punya jawapan ini hilang 1 markah. Mana satu? Lin tinggi? Apa markah saya tak dapat? Tan Chin Sen? FK. Cikgu sini hilang 1 markah. Saya sengaja punya tahu. Saya sengaja tak tulis. Untuk tunjuk. Tunjuk ini kesilapan pelajar. Sia-sia saja 1 markah itu tak dapat. Okay. So just write your FK because it's required. I will take 5 for a while because got prayer. Sorry. Itu mereka sedang korek apa? Bising ah. Okay, let us continue. Okay, followed by it say if the system of equations has infinitely many solutions, determine K and M. So if infinitely many solution, it means that the last row must be all zero lah. All zero. So we will say that both this Fk kosong, M plus Km minus K plus 7 also kosong. Do you see I use N? Tak boleh guna koma. Mulai sekarang hari ini ya, you see ya. Kalau dia N, jangan simply pakai senang tulis koma, tak mau. You see ya, not only matrix kan, dekat chapter 1, chapter 2 juga sama. Kalau condition yang bonding the two things, if N, you write N. It must be stated clearly. Okay, from here, from the first one, K square minus K minus 2 equal to 0, after factorize, we got two values, -1 and 2. But when we evaluate K equal to -1, by using the second equation, we have found an inconsistent situation. Inconsistent situation bermaksud, bila saya sub values of K into the equation, I found that right hand side is 14. Left hand side ialah kosong kan? Bila keadaan ini berlaku, you tulis bracket inconsistent. So you can reject the K equal to -1. Faham? That is the justification we should make. Put the bracket for this inconsistent situation, then you reject this K. Alright? Okay, then for the next values of K equals to 2. Then you sub your K into 2. Then here you are able to find the values of M. So you get your K and the M, then you continue to find the solution. To find the solution, so you have to working backward here, back substitution. We say we are using back substitution. So the first row, the second row, we go from the bottom. We go from the bottom. First row semua kosong, so just ignore it. So second row, we have the Y minus T, because we already say we sub the Z as T. I'll replace the Z as T, in which T is real. So from here we get the Y in terms of T. Okay, then you go to row 1. Row 1, you get X equal to this one. And then finally you get X is 7 over 3. And then make the conclusion. Solutions are in this one. This is, in other words, means the solution is infinitely many solutions. Baik, ada apa-apa soalan sebelum kita pergi ke chapter 4? Any question? Okay. All right, then I move on. Chapter 4. Chapter 4. Chapter 4. Actually, I have talked about this also. Still, I found that I still want to remind you. because we tend to what we say, try to not writing the steps, simple step. We have the tendency to skip a simple step. Okay, you see number 4. The complex number W and Z are given by KW, Z, express W and Z in polar form. So you have to look for the modulus and the argument. When you look for the modulus, you look carefully. Saya di sini, I sub 1 square and negative sub 3, tengok. Walaupun for all of us, finally the values of these two will be the same, isn't it? But in the examination, you have to sub the values which is negative sub 3 and show it. Walaupun padahal nilai dia sama. Okay. So be careful with in this aspect. So for polar form, angle must be in radian. Boleh faham? Angle must be in radian. So normally we try to give in pi radian. In pi radian. Yang ini kalau mereka guna kalkulator lama, dia takkan bagi pi over 3. Kan? Kalkulator lama tak boleh bagi. Dia akan bagi apa? What is that? 0.866 something kan? If you are using the new calculator, then you have no problem so I just want to tell you. So you see our W, you see we can express like this form: C cos negative pi over 3 plus I sin negative pi over 3. Ini boleh, ini pun boleh. Lagi satu pun boleh. 2 cos pi over 3 minus I sin pi over 3. Ini pun boleh. Boleh faham? Okay. Among these two, only this one can be changed to this form. Yang ini tak boleh. Yang ini jangan kata sama dengan ini. 2 cos pi over 3. CIS. Ini tak boleh. Ini is the wrong thing. Tak boleh. Because CIS means exactly CIS exactly is cos the argument plus I sin the argument. Dia ada plus di sini. So be careful when you change to each form. All right. This one I just want to give the comment here. You see, they say that use De Moivre's theorem show that Z power 2 divided by W power 5 is a real number. Then in your answer, finally, you must comment. Comment. 1/8, comment here is a real number. Must state. Don't silence. Diam-diam saja. Okay, I move to chapter 4. Question number 4 here. Question number 4 here. Verify that 3 equals to 3i is a root of equation. Hence, solve the equation. So how to verify? There must be a proper working, verify ini. Many of us do not perform a correct working to verify. Okay, you see how we perform it. Actually, I just look at the left-hand side. Okay, left-hand side. Then I try to sub this 3i into the left-hand side. Then you show the substitution here. Kan? You bukan perform equation. You adalah sub ke dalam left hand side saja. You not working with the equation. That is the difference. Huh? Okay. But this equation, the left hand side is this one, the right hand side is kosong. So you sub into the right hand side. Oh, I put wrongly. This will be the left hand side. Sub into the left hand side. Finally, you get 0. Only then you say verify. Maksudnya, it's satisfied lah. Ataupun you tulis Z equal to 3I, satisfy the equation. Satisfy the equation. Or you just simply write bracket, verify. Conclude that 3I is the root. All right. You look at this alternative way. Can see clearly. A little bit disturbance. Okay, this one. You see, this student is working in the equation form. Boleh tak? Kena berhati-hati. Okay, you sub the Z 3I itu masuk ke dalam equation. Ini lain sikit. Dia working with the equation itself. So when you sub, kiri kosong, kanan kosong. Mesti tunjuk satu perkataan, consistent di sini. Faham tak? Mesti tulis perkataan itu, consistent, if you want to work in this way. Consistent. Then you say Z equals 3I is the root. Alright, next I move on. Lepas itu soalan itu tanya apa? Hence, solve the equation. Okay. Kalau kita sudah verify 3I is the root, then negative 3I is also the root. They come together. They always come together. This is deducing the second root. Since all the coefficients of the polynomial equation are real, negative 3I is also the root. All right, I try to form the quadratic function by using the formula x squared minus sum of root x plus product of root. Kan? Okay, so I find my sum of root 3I plus negative 3I, I get 0. Product of the two roots, I get 9. Okay, so I get, I get the z squared plus 9 finally, which is this one. Okay, now I'm working in the form of equal polynomial to looking for the second quadratic expression. But here, I only able to read the coefficient of z squared is 4. The last one must be 13 because 9 times 13 is give 117. Now I have a little bit trouble to get the coefficient of z. Some can see directly, I know. But normally, I encourage you, you just work like that. Coefficient of z at the left-hand side, it is negative 108. So, in other words, the 9b, which they multiply, give the z terms. So, 9b only we consider, 9b equals to negative 108. So, here we obtain b is negative 12. Okay. Then we get our second quadratic factor. Not yet finished. Our purpose is to solve. We have to be very careful. Solve the equation dengan find the roots, find the real roots. Ada dua benda yang berbeza. Find the real root. Find the real root and solve. Solve maksudnya real dia pun mau, imaginary dia pun mau. Itu panggil solve. Dia tak mention. Solve, find the real root. Dia hanya mention solve. Semua dia mau, sapu semua. Bermaksud, when you come to the finding the roots, all this must be included. Imaginary roots, complex root is what they want. So you see, got how many answer altogether? 4 answer. 1, 2, 3, 4. In which all are not real. In which all are not real. Kalau soalan itu semua kata find the real root, maksudnya tak ada jawapan. No real root. Tetapi kalau dia kata solve saja, semua dia mau. Alright, never give the answer in this form. Tengok ini. Tak mau. Put separately. 3i, negative 3i, put separately. So as 3/2 plus minus I. Because certain books, they just put like that, isn't it? Jangan ikut. Come to exam, you must put it separately one by one. Okay, I think that is the chapter 4. I'm going to move to chapter 5. Before that, I just make sure, is there any question want to raise here? Cikgu? Students, any question? Okay, I can carry on. Chapter 5. We still have another 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Okay, this chapter 5. You see this question, 2016, is about hyperbola. Hyperbola. So this one is the vertical hyperbola, kan? Vertical hyperbola, because the y square is positive. The x square is negative. Okay, find the coordinate of the foci. Foci you get from the C lah. You have to find the C, which is the square root of a squared plus b squared. You get 8. So you indicate the two focus separately. As I said, never put it like this. You put the foci as 0 plus minus 8. Tak mau, Ini tak mau. Kena put it separately. Separately. So the equation of asymptote also the same. You cannot just put plus minus. You put it separately as an individual answer here. Okay, I think I just have you have a look lah. This is MPM report. It says some candidate did not write the coordinate separately. They wrote in the form plus minus. Macam ini. Tak boleh Okay. We look at the last one. 2023 for that chapter 5. The parametric equation of a conic is given by x and y, where the theta is in between 0 to 2 pi, inclusive. A. Find the Cartesian equation and identify the type of conic. So I use this basic identity, sine square plus cos square equal to 1, to link the two together. Then I can eliminate the theta. And then I recognize it as a vertical ellipse. Vertical ellipse. So make sure you comment. The equation represent an ellipse, because here it asks you to identify. You cannot sebut. And then it's in the Cartesian form. Sebenarnya Cartesian form di sini, dia boleh berbagai form bentuk. Yang ini yang saya tulis ini standard form. You can give in general form. General form maksudnya is 4 bracket square kan. 4 bracket square plus 9 bracket square equals to 36 kan. Itu general form kan. And then as long as it's a simplest form pun boleh. Okay, next one. Sketch the conic and indicate its center and vertices. Ini adalah ellipse. Bagi satu ellipse, apakah sifat-sifat yang penting? Apakah sifat-sifat yang penting? Yang penting sekali ialah apa yang kamu dah cari di sini, yang boleh nampak di sini, mesti indicate. Contohnya, you already see from the form here, the center is 2, -1. Mesti ada 2, -1, indicate di sini. 2, -1. In this form itself, the A is 2 square kan? The B is 3 square kan? So from here, you move 2 unit to the right, you get a 4. 2 unit to the left, you get -1. Then for this 3, you move up. This vertex is very important. Another vertex here is very important. Basically, center mesti ada. 1, 2, 3. Mesti ada. This 1, 2, 3. Mesti ada. The core vertices, not so important. The core vertices mean these two lah. The other two. But I need the other two mah kan. Biasanya sekira-kira juga. The other two, I still need because I want to get a good shape. Okay, but indication for these three must be shown properly. Okay, other color, atau you tulis macam ni, atau you indicate dekat sini. Either you indicate the coordinate like this, 2, -1. Or as I did lah. Or as I did. Baik. Kalau kita tengok 2014, apa dia mau tahu? Kita tengok 2014. Jawapan dia bukan saja nak center, nak vertices, dia juga minta foci. The 2 foci. Okay. Jadi bila kita buat soalan B ini, kita serba salah. Foci itu kita perlu cari tak? I tak boleh jawab you. I don't know. I cannot answer you. If I check the syllabus, you see the syllabus, If I check the syllabus, I always thinking to what extent we want to sketch our parabola, our ellipse, our hyperbola. I try to get some clue from the syllabus here. You see the parabola. Parabola, dia mau vertex, dia mau focus, dia mau directrix kan? Itu saja. Axis of symmetry sebenarnya perlu juga. Kerana axis of symmetry you learn in form 5 mah. Untuk ellipse, dia mau vertices, dia mau center, dia mau foci. The vertical axis and the horizontal axis or major or minor axis perlu tak? Perlu. Perlu Perlu. For hyperbola, yang dia mau vertices, center, foci, asymptote. Ini 3-4 benda ini dengan clearly stated here. So it means that it is very important. So as the transverse axis dia tak tulis, walaupun dia tak tulis, sebenarnya kena tunjuk. Transverse axis dengan satu lagi apa? Conjugate axis kan? Conjugate axis. You have to show also lah. Okay. So basically actually for me lah, when it comes to exam, I much depend on what is in the front. Kalau di sini dia tak suruh saya cari foci, kalau saya tengok markah dia tak tinggi, saya skip. Kalau you rasa tak secure, you carilah. Bukan susah kan? Bukan susah. You see, this question 2014, because at the front, you are looking for foci, focus kan? Maka diagram mesti ada. It come together. So it's sometimes much depend on the question asked. Kalau di depan ada suruh cari, maka sketching itu mesti termasuk. Kalau macam ini, dia tak suruh cari foci, come to sketch, suppose we can skip lah. Because it's not the core points. The core points is the center and the two vertices here. Boleh faham ah? Boleh faham ah? Okay. Baik, yang lain ada apa-apa jawab soalan tak sebelum saya move ke chapter 6? Okay, ada. I think I managed the time well. Now we go to chapter 6. I have only one question to discuss here. Very simple. So you are given the position vector of P, ini P, ini Q, ini R. So you are given the pi, the plane pi. Okay, show that Q lies on the plane pi. So you can just calculate the NQ lah. NQ must give -4, so you get -4. Then you can conclude the point Q lies on the plane. You see, -3, -2, +1 must be shown. Must be shown. All right, next. Given the line L, which passes through the points P and R, then find the vector equation of L. To get the vector equation of L, we need two things only: direction vector, and a point, and a point. So direction you can get PR. Use PR or use RP. PR boleh, RP pun boleh. Point, you can use P, can use R. Jadi sebenarnya ada 4 jawapan. With that combination, ada 4 jawapan lah. Okay, here I just list out the 2. List out the 2 in which the supposed to have 4 choices to express the equation of the line. Strictly follow the question vector equation. Ini pula kena follow, jangan lupa. Maka bagilah dalam bentuk vector equation. Bentuk vector equation. Okay, finally, I see one alternative way for looking for A. Tak payahlah, I just skip. Lastly, not lastly, this one. Determine the angle between a line and a plane. Determine the angle between a line and a plane. There is some issue here. You have to take notes. Take notes. Now, if I use dot product, this formula itself is to get the angle between the two vector, kan? This is just the angle between the vector B and the vector N. So alpha we obtain is the angle between the two vector only. It's not yet the angle between the line and the plane. Okay, if you look at the diagram here, this diagram, when we apply this formula, the alpha we get is here, this one only. But the angle we want is this theta, this theta. So after you apply this formula, you get the alpha is 49.86. You should write another statement. The required angle in general or specific, the angle between the line and the plane is 90 minus 49.86. It's a must to write. It's a must to write here. 90 minus 49.86. Okay. Alternatively, let's say somebody is using this formula. Sorry. Yang ini, This the dot product. This dot product is not the formal formula. It's a modified formula. Dot product between two vector should get the angle between the two vector. But dot product, the terms used is cos. Then they modify. They change from the cos to sine. So this is not yet, no more dot product. No more dot product. Okay. But if you work using this one, you must define your theta in the front. Wait, you must define this one. Dia mesti mau tengok itu. The theta is the angle between the line and the plane. Without this one, potong markah. Potong markah. Okay. So if you want to use sine, can, but you define your theta first. Boleh faham? Okay. So as I say here, theta must define if using this formula. Because this formula is a modifying formula. It's no more a dot product between two vector. Dot product between two vector must be in terms of cost. All right. Finally, we look at number 3. Find the point of intersection between line and the plane. So the plane very simple. Y equal to 0. But the line we can, kalau kita bagi dalam bentuk parametric equation, the line. The line in this form, the line just now is R equals to what? 3, 2, 2 kan? Betul tak? Mana? The line. 3, 2, 2 plus T. 1. Negative 1 and 3 kan? So you can just sub the whole thing. This one ada dua cara lah. Okay. So now I either this form or this form. If I using parametric form, this one is a parametric form. So your parametric form sub into the plane. Here is the plane. The equation the plane very simple. Y equal kosong saja. So you sub your y. 2 minus 3. 2 minus t equal to 0. You get t equal to 2. Kalau t equal to 2, then you can evaluate the point by sub the t into the parametric equation. Then you get all the coordinate x, y, z and write your answer. Kan? Itu ialah one alternative. The other alternative is you sub this r into the r dot n equal to na lah kan? Into the equation. You sub your r here. That is another option. Alright? Don't forget to state your answer in the coordinate form. Don't never leave the x, y, z simply like that. Must be in the point form. Kerana tengok soalan, dia minta apa? Point kan? Dia minta point. Dia minta point. So you must give the coordinate in the coordinate form. Okay, I think I have come to the end of the session. We still have few minutes. Maybe we can drag until 2 o'clock if you all have question. Okay, I open to everyone. Any question you wish to ask? Okay. Ken say thank you. Welcome. Ken bagi tahu signal kena habis. Who else? Ken, I love you also, even though I can't see you. Okay, somebody has question. Please ask question. Who is raising the hand? Okay, no question. Okay, no question. Then all right. So hopefully everybody get the benefit from the sharing. Uh, Actually, I'm not expert in term one, and I'm not marking term one. Okay, I just share my experience with you all. In fact, I myself is a person who like to share what I learn, what I know. Okay, because if I share only, then I can let many people benefit from what I know, from what I learn. Okay, in fact, in our group, we have a lot of experienced teacher. So we all can consult then also regarding the answering technique for term one or even term two or term three. If no question, I'm going to end this session. Later on, I will share the recording to all of you. So for those who miss the session, so you can replay it. So I think I stop here. Okay, thank you very much, everybody, for your attention. Okay, see you. Stop.